There's a slice left if you want it. Sausage and pepperoni.
Hold on.
Older sibling is a bitch and or bastard cliche.
Right back to my place. Winter gets a comic.
Any comic?
Yeah. Hey! Hey!
I'll take your X-Men 134!
Coming up with a bet in which if you yourself win, you get nothing. That's a real dumbass bet. Allow me to paint you a picture. I'm here at 4:30 in the morning. I have headphones in. I've just finished writing the previous scene and then I'm hit by this fantastic jump scare which scared me half to death. I should also mention that I've seen Stranger Things and it still got me. So this is great and I'll remove a sin. A cop that takes pills and drinks alcohol and smokes? Well, he's just a big old cliche wrapped up inside of a cop, isn't he?
In other news, you might want to stay home tonight or at least pack an umbrella.
Leaving the TV on when you go to work.
Where's Will?
Oh, I didn't get him up yet. He's probably still sleeping.
Jonathan, you have to make sure he's up.
Mom, I'm making breakfast.
I told you this 1,000 times.
Why couldn't you wake him up? Discount younger Edward Furlong minus the drug addict look.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Step right up and get your tickets for the freak show.
Cliche bullies are incredibly cliche.
It's toothless. I told you a million times. My teeth are coming in. It's called cleidocranial dysplasia.
Did he think 1,000,001 times would do the trick?
On a more pressing matter, Joyce Byers can't find her son this morning.
He doesn't know what card game they're playing but rearranges his cards regardless. It's also called cheating, so that's 2 sins.
You want to know the worst thing that's ever happened here in the 4 years I've been working here? Do you want to know the worst thing? It was when an owl attacked Eleanor Gillespie's head because it thought that her hair was a nest.
Did he ask the owl why it did it?
Hey, what's up with this guy, huh?
He's probably just hungry. Come on.
As it turns out, the mother didn't even check the shed on the property, but did go out to the woods nearby the house to the secret fort. I'd have thought that logic would dictate you'd go everywhere on the immediate property before doing anything else.
Listen, I want you to call Flo. I want to get a search party together, all right? All the volunteers she can muster. Bring flashlights, too.
Hey, you think we got a problem here?
No, he just wants a search party with as many people as possible because everything is fine.
He could have played it safe, but he didn't. He put himself in danger to help the party.
Over.
Me mean 10. Over and out.
Meet you where? These two don't shoot what I can only assume are tranquilizer guns on site and instead just stand there. When walking 2 feet to the left is an inconvenience.
Joyce, I wasn't expecting you today. I brought Jeffrey in to cover.
I'm not here to work.
In the first episode, we see her preparing to leave the house in her work uniform, so why he'd assume that when she turns up in normal clothing that she's there to work and not to, say, shop, I don't know.
The storm last night, I need a new phone.
She doesn't know where to find a telephone in the shop where she's worked for 10 years.
I need this phone and 2 weeks advance. And a pack of Camels.
This guy was already pretty decent to basically give her a phone and 2 weeks of extra pay, but then she also demands cigarettes on top.
We're all clear.
Because no one is definitely sat on the toilet.
You copy?
Yeah, Flo, talk to me.
Hey, Chief, we got a call from over at Benny's. I think you need to get there right away.
Doesn't just tell him why over the police radio.
Oh, Jesus.
Suicide?
Nope, clearly he was eaten by a f***ing snake.
For Will?
Sorry. Spasm.
This funny moment earns the show a sin removal.
Hey, what do you got?
Not sure. Maybe nothing. Found this. In there.
This piece of fabric should be snagged on something, like it got hooked and tore off. Otherwise, this just looks like a piece of the gown randomly fell off whilst Elle made her way through a perfectly round tunnel.
Is that a new bra?
No.
Have these two been friends so long that they know what all of their underwear looks like?
Hey, come back inside. Warm me up.
She's cold and yet leaves the door open.
Well, superpowers.
He gives his friend this look whilst fully knowing that she does genuinely have superpowers. When drinking it the normal way is too efficient. Seems like here she could have continued pulling herself up, but for some unknown reason she decides to stay in that position until eventually pulled back down.
I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
What's that? He's not being sweet and kind to me following sex? Say what? Having a combination lock on your locker and not using it. Bet she stole those as well.
Is that it?
Like I said, we would have seen him.
What's the point of indulging him and bringing him up there only to show less than 10 seconds of footage and then repeat the line, "We would have seen him"? Seems largely pointless.
Hey.
Oh, hey.
He does this at school, hears someone walk in, and then doesn't immediately take them down. Bloody weirdo.
No, she said she was staying with you last night.
Right. Yes.
Yep, that's convincing.
Come on, let's go. The game's about to start.
Boo.
A non-aggressive boo loses its effect and meaning. Saving the cat's life equals a big fat sin removed. I like that a lot.
So, I told Mr. Mundy the solution of 10 plus y equals below me.
Placing a piece of furniture in front of a cool-ass useful cupboard. That shit's just wasteful as hell.
I need to know where to find you, honey. Where are you?
Well, you gave two options. Flash once for yes and twice for no, and then you're asking him where he is and how to find him. What's he gonna answer with? Yes?
Here. Yeah, this is where Will lives. Hiding. No, this is where he lives.
He's not curious as to how she actually knew that he lived there in the first place.
I swear, if we walked all the way out here for nothing...
That's exactly what we did! I told you she didn't know what the hell she was talking about!
Wow, they really made this kid be a bit of a douche to this girl. She never did a single thing to him, and all he's done is be aggressive or rude to her at every turn. I think it ranges on being unrealistic, considering how, as I've stated, she's never done anything to him. Also, this kid is used to being bullied, so he should know better than to do the same thing to her by calling her names and acting like this.
Hey, come on, don't do this, man.
One of the slowest and most awkward angry walkouts in the history of angry walkouts.
I want you to try to get some sleep if you can.
I'm sorry, but if I saw a big ass monster coming out of my living room wall, there wouldn't be enough money in the world that would make me sleep in that fucking house. Personally, I'd be using the rifle from episode 1, but if that rifle disappeared when the boy was taken, that would also lead police to know that he did in fact come home that night. I only bring up the rifle as I can't recall a scene where it's found in the shed when the police first searched the property.
Bye. Bye, sweetie.
Look, Lucas, do you copy?
Mother's only just out the door, and within less than 5 seconds he's already using his loud voice over the radio, where if his mother was even just a few steps away, she'd be able to clearly hear him.
You're singing that weird song he loves. Even Ella heard him.
Oh, well, if the weirdo heard him, then I guess
you're in the right channel.
That's the point, isn't it? He's saying Elle heard him as well as himself having heard him. If he was saying that Elle reported to him that she had heard him on her own, then this comment would be fully valid. But since that's not the case, it's not valid at all and is thus sinful.
She's channeling him.
Like Professor X.
Are you actually believing this crap?
Yeah, it's absolute crap. All we know for sure is that she can control objects with her mind, okay? Not bloody radios. You guys are crazy.
There's no way we're gonna get the weirdo in there without anyone noticing. I mean, look at her.
No one continues to back up Elle, one of the coolest characters in this entire show, by telling him to stop calling her a weirdo, and it's getting irritating now. As I stated earlier, these guys all experience regular bullying on an almost daily basis, and yet don't get the irony involved with this kid bullying the timid and shy Elle almost constantly since his first interaction with her. I don't really think makeup is the issue, given that she does clearly look like a girl, but I agree that the hair would make most people look. Discount Jason Mantzoukas.
Like what?
Steve and me, we're just friends. We just talked.
Now, is this before or after you changed out of your clothes?
Cops make it way too personal and for seemingly no reason whatsoever. She made it clear that when she went up to change, Barb went home, so what happened upstairs has absolutely nothing to do with her disappearance. Also, do these guys forget that most houses have more than a single large room upstairs, and thus there were other places for her to get changed? At this point in time, they don't even know if he went up there with her at the same time. Just seems like an odd way to push the plot by making these two asshats concentrate on the wrong thing.
It's locked. What? Hey, do you think you can open it? With your powers?
Did he think he'd have a better chance trying the doorknob after finding out the door was locked?
You lied to the police. I didn't lie. How naive do you think I am? You and Steve were just talking?
Seriously though, does the fact that they had sex after she left, or seemingly left as far as she's aware, change the situation in the slightest for the police?
And not let anybody get too close. Get close to what? The body.
Attacking a fellow cop to get information might seem pretty cool on the surface, but what's really happening is actually quite sinful. Because if these guys behind it all now wanted to shut down his investigation, all they'd have to do is simply state that he assaulted an officer after getting drunk. They could then lock him up for assault, take away his badge pending investigation, and all other manner of things. So in reality, it'd actually be pretty dumb to go about gaining information in this way. This woman fails to see him in her far peripheral view, also known as the corner of her eye, where he'd be quite visible. I'm sorry, kid or no lost kid, despite how motivated I would not be going through here with those biohazard signs up without some kind of protection. I think I can safely say I'm sending this one based on the notion that none of us would go past this point without having some kind of gear on.
Guys, come on, just think about it. When Elle took us to find Will, she took us to his house, right?
Yeah, and he wasn't there.
It's true that he wasn't technically, but this is still a flawed statement given that they arrived, had the brief spat, and then chased down the emergency vehicles to the fake body. So technically they wouldn't have known if he was there or not, since they didn't technically look at all. One would assume that in a secret government facility in which a member of staff has been assaulted and another threatened with a gun, that these armed soldiers would shoot on sight to protect the secret. They kept the power on down here despite it being entirely unmanned.
Mom, that thing you saw before, did it come back?
Jonathan, it's enough.
John's big reveal to his mother is plot blocked by the reappearance of his deadbeat father, whom for some reason he decides to listen to, rather than simply talk to his mother, which seems way more important since he now knows that she was telling the truth.
Dad, you're choking me.
You can clearly see there's room inside the collar even with his dad's fingers in there, so don't be such a big baby. Oh my god, this gets a heartbreaking sin removal from me. Man, stuff like this makes me incredibly sad. No one attempts to speak to the mother of the boy. You know, the one who's actually been raising him. They could have very easily gotten rid of him if they wanted to, and this just seems like the dumbest thing a secret government operation could do if they wanted to keep someone quiet. Think about it. They could have staged a suicide, an accidental drowning near his home. They could have taken him out of the base and no one would know since he snuck in there. Finally, they could have arrested him, and by the long list of offences he'd committed, such as assault, trespass, breaking and entering, and a whole lot more, he wouldn't have seen the outside of a jail cell for quite some time. I only mention all of this because it's justification for giving 5 sins here. Random drooling while searching for bugs.
You can tell someone, but they're not gonna believe you. You know that.
Your mom would.
She's been through enough.
She deserves to know.
Yeah, and I'll tell her. When this thing is dead.
Yeah, letting her keep thinking that her son is dead is the kindest thing to do.
Apparently some of the less athletic types go nuts for this stuff.
That's nerdism. 2 minutes of this guy talking out of his ass and just so happening to be correct.
They found Barbara's car.
What? Barbara Holland's car? Seems she ran away after all.
Because finding a car definitely means finding a person.
Then how do you know about the upside down?
Really wish someone would just say out loud, "Hey dude, do you realise that every conversation you've had with Elle has either resulted in you acting like you're full of attitude or full of aggression?"
Dustin, what are you doing? Dustin!
Dustin! Dustin!
Jesus guys, say his name once and then give him more than half a second to get a reply.
Which means that's true north.
So what you're saying is the compasses are broken?
Yes, that's right. All of the compasses are broken in the same way.
Whoa, 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 hey, whoa, whoa.
Sneaking up on someone and almost getting hit cliché.
Where does Jonathan want to go to college?
We get that money anywhere he damn well pleases.
NYU, Lonnie! He's wanted to go to NYU since he was 6 years old!
A 6-year-old planning on what university he wants to go to.
Just look around at this place. All your Christmas lights. The hell am I supposed to think? You're such a great mom?
Hey, why hone in on the Christmas lights and not the peeled wallpaper, giant letters on the wall, or the hole in the side of the house?
You're supposed to hit the cans, right?
Oh, actually, you see the spaces in between the cans? I'm aiming for those.
Do you think she's acting weird?
You're asking if the weirdo is acting weird.
Don't you fucking start with that now! How did this thing not entirely fill up with water considering it was placed over the top of a wetsuit as she was being descended into the tub?
For that moment, it was like you were alone, or you thought you were, and, you know, you could just be yourself.
Such bullshit.
Asking for an interpretation of a feeling inside a photo and then acting like this.
I never said that.
You had every right to be pissed
Okay, all right, does that mean I have to like him?
No.
I don't like most people. He's in the vast majority.
You know, I was actually starting to think that you were okay.
This scene for me makes no sense. He's annoyed the guy broke his camera and doesn't like him. She says, that's okay. But when he says, I don't like most people, she randomly says, I was actually starting to think you were okay.
I was thinking, Nancy Wheeler, she's not just another suburban girl who thinks she's rebelling by doing exactly what every other suburban girl does.
So the point I want to make here is what makes him think this? The fact that she got angry at you, albeit randomly? There's just no real context here as to why either of them is angry with the other at all.
Oh, Jesus.
Wouldn't it be easier to just take her straight outside and say, the house is bugged, but it'd be way too hard with everything inside to find it, so discuss important things out here?
Okay. Should be okay. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but it should be okay.
So just talk outside, even if it's just down the driveway and around the corner. It's not that hard. Doing this instead of finding Jonathan first. Oh, I'm glad those two end up together. Oh, wait.
You can't get us in here.
Dangerous assumptions. How to fake angry kicking 101.
At least we'll know what's coming.
Honey, are you up?
Annoying privacy invasive mother jump scare.
No, Mike, you give me a break. All three of you were being a bunch of little assholes. I was the only reasonable one.
How was Elle being an asshole? No one gave her a chance to properly explain before they started fighting, and then she was that uncomfortable she separated them a little too well. That's all.
The bottom line is, you push first. And you know the rule, you draw first blood.
Actually, Lucas pushed first, but never mind.
I'm going to the gate. I'm gonna find Will.
Shoving the peacemaker in the situation with whom you don't have an issue.
Don't be frightened. These are all friends.
In a previous episode, Elle seems confused by what the word friend means, as though she's never heard it, but here it's said a long time before she ever meets the boys.
Young lady, you know you have to pay for those.
He says this before she's even reached the checkouts.
This is Will. You may have seen him on the news.
What's wrong with her?
I told you you're wasting your time.
Yes, but you didn't tell them how they're wasting their time.
Oh! What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? I was worried about you.
Oh yeah, there's absolutely no chance of them getting back together. F it.
You and your boyfriend have big plans, do you?
He's not my boyfriend.
I think you better tell him that.
This woman is straight up talking out of her ass, not knowing a single thing about the incident whatsoever.
What? Only love makes you that crazy, sweetheart. And that damn stupid.
Yes, only love, and not incredible levels of stress, knowing your brother is chatting with a monster, or getting incredibly provoked by a douchebag into fighting, for example. No, just love. Easily one of my personal favourite moments of the show. It's got great CGI, awesome acting from Elle, and is just overall badass. Removing two sins. Laid down, on her knees. If they don't intend on killing Elle, then why do they need all of this firepower? Against the two boys?
That's better.
Mike trying out an Irish accent. At the end of the previous episode, Mike's bike was on the right, but is now on the left. And this is my favourite moment of the show. Absolutely badass, and well deserving of 3 sins being removed. To be fair, there's a ton of curb they could have gone up to get around this.
Why don't you ask your son? We found in his car.
What? Why are you going through my car?
Is that really the question you should be asking right now?
Yeah, he's right. A better question would be, can I see the warrant issue that allowed you to search my car considering the alleged crime didn't happen anywhere near my car? These tranquilizer guns weren't put into use until the late 1990s.
Oh, it's okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. You did so good.
Awesome acting here from Elle. Made me feel really sorry for her, actually.
Nancy! Jonathan!
Oh, nice of the two of them to leave without saying a fucking word. I thought it was bad enough that they were leaving the kids on their own, but I at least assumed they said they were going.
Get the rocks! Get the rocks! Get the rocks! Give me one! Come on!
Thinking that the wrist rocket will do what hundreds of bullets couldn't.
Help! 11! Help!
Yup, she's definitely not under that desk.
Michael! Michael!
Police just let the civilian walk right past where he's literally now putting up the tape.
Did you give it to him?
Yeah, this made no fucking sense to me. They built half the series around her becoming closer to the other guy just to randomly switch it out at the very end. Because they never took the time to explain any of this, I'm giving it 5 cents. So is this in case she ever comes back and is hungry, or a makeshift tombstone / food storage box? Nathan Burr, Bird Without a Word, Arias Alibari, Aidan White, PK Fan, Ali 50, Ryan Anderson, Isael Caldera, Chris Harris, Jonas Schal, Manolo Saucedo Munoz, Luis Hernandez, Kim Munt, Jason Davies, Yuki Ali, Manuel Morales, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Sentimento, Java6263, Amy San, Alfredo Jimenez, Silva, Master Tank, Oogie, Kevin Nauta, Stefio, Brendan Kriya, Storm 970, Mr. Waffle 64, Vongola Ninja, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Sean Graves, The Epic Commander, Crimson Shadows, Kyle Farmer, Buzzbomb 3000, Adora Blue, Yagai 7636, Mr. Berigino.